Hello YouTube, this is Michael B. the Game Genie, and this is another episode of my game pickups from the new Adventure Island. So guys, you may remember from the last video I talked about picking up my first two Atari games, which were E.T. the Extraterrestrial and Donkey Kong on the Atari 2600. Well, the reason I picked these up is I recently just came across some old vintage systems, and kind of like I explained in the last video as well, I never really intended to pick up anything past the NES, because that's really in my wheelhouse. But the thing is, I've been on YouTube here for just about a year now, and I've watched so many videos on the Atari 2600 and other vintage systems that if I see one and it's at a reasonable price, I can't help myself. I'm going to pick it up, and I want to explore that library. So in the time frame of the last 2 months or so, I picked up a bunch of stuff, and I'm going to show you that today.
Attention shoppers, the new Atari cartridge game is in.
Excuse me.
Uh-oh, George again.
Ooh, Atari's ASCII battle.
It comes with 27 games, but that's just for starters. You can get 9 cartridges, 187 games.
Blackjack. Oh!
I'd like an Atari.
Sorry, only our demonstrators left.
Mine!
No, George. Mine.
The new video computer system by Atari. More games, more fun.
The first of which is a 4-switch Atari Vader. I may have showed you this already, I'm not 100% sure, but I went up to my parents' house and my mom said, "So you're doing the whole thing with the old video games now? We have an old Atari system up here, do you want it?" I was like, hell yeah. So anyways, she gave me this Atari 2600, it came with 2 controllers, all the power supplies. Not a bad system. So anyways, that was the first Atari 2600 I had, but the picture looked really bad on my TV, so I thought maybe the Atari's broken. So then I got a regular old school Atari 2600. I love the wood grain across here. Honestly, this is, in my opinion, much better looking than the Atari Vader or just the Atari without the wood grain. But I ran into the same issue. Anyways, this one plays a little bit better. I want to say thank you so much to my friend Chris. He actually gave me a heads up that he might have had an old video game system at home, and he gave me his old Atari 2600, so thanks so much, Chris. That's his second Atari I picked up, but it wasn't perfect, so I came across something else. So I was in the Valley Village one day, and usually I go up and take a look at the systems. And they may have a NES there, they may have a Super Nintendo, but it's mostly Xbox and PlayStation 2s that are broken, they're still trying to sell for 40 bucks. When I came across this, which is an Atari 2600 Junior. Look at this little thing, it's so small.
It's the 2600 from Atari.
Just give me a second, I'm going to show you a comparison here now. This is the Atari 2600 Junior. And that's a regular Atari. Look at the size difference, holy god. Same power, little system. So now I have a bunch of Atari 2600s. Cool thing about this one, actually, the cord is not coming out of it. It's got its own RF slot. So you can stick an NES RF connector or a Sega Master System RF connector in there, and it works pretty good on the modern day TV. Well, not modern day, the TV I use anyways. So of course, I picked up 3 different models of the Atari 2600, and wouldn't you know it, they all came with games. So I'm going to show you the massive load of Atari 2600 games I picked up in the last 2 months. If I've already showed something before, I'm really sorry. It's just, this has been 2 months, and I can't 100% remember what I've shown and what I haven't. So guys, this is a bunch. Stick with me. So I picked up Megabania, Phoenix, Defender, Night Driver, Real Sports Baseball. I got Pac-Man fever. It's driving me crazy. This is actually one of the first games I ever remember seeing in somebody's household. My friend Joey, for his, I think it was his 9th birthday, his parents got him an Atari 2600, and we played Pac-Man in his house. Very cool. First time I saw a video game in somebody's home. Yara's Revenge, and a very beat-up copy of Mousetrap. Yeah, guys, there's a whole lot more. I picked up Asteroids, Pitfall,
Just last night, I was lost in the jungle with Pitfall Harry, surrounded by giant scorpions and man-eating crocodiles.
Another copy of Pac-Man, but this time the label was damaged. A game I'm very excited about, Miss Pac-Man, which is actually a much better port to the system. Space Invaders, Demon Attack, Atlantis, my dentist's favorite game, Plaque Attack, Game, Program, Bowling, Sequest. What was the show that used to come on TV back in the 90s? Sequest DSV? Where they had the dolphin and the kind of like spaceship thing? I can't remember. Missile Command, Star Raiders, Asteroids with a considerable amount of label damage, another copy of Plaque Attack. Someone's trying to tell me something here. Freeway, Missile Command, very strange looking Atari 2600 case, but this is actually Planet Patrol, Enduro, it's a racing game, Berserk, Kangaroo! That looks fun. Tutankhamun, another copy of Missile Command, Video Pinball, Ice Hockey, Spider Fighter, another copy of Defender. I'm questioning whether or not I've had one of these lately. Tapeworm, a beat-up copy of Freeway, another weird-shaped game that I don't know nothing about, but this is actually Space Attack, and these are two ColecoVision games made to go on the Atari 2600. So, I've got Coleco's version of Donkey Kong for the Atari 2600, and Coleco's version of Donkey Kong Jr. for the Atari 2600. Very strange. Never heard of these before, but anyways, when I pulled them out, I was like, hey, that's pretty cool. Before I show you the last two games, and probably the most important, this also came with a mess of controllers. I just want to show you guys everything I got here.
I'd like an Atari 2600 system, please, and everything that goes with it.
Everything? You sure you want everything?
I want everything.
Now you get a new low price, up to $30 in rebate offers, and a free Pac-Man.
Is that everything?
It's not everything. You can get nearly 300 different cartridges.
300?
That's nothing.
It's something.
But it's not everything. Soon there'll be a voice module, trackball, remote control joysticks, and a computer keyboard.
It's amazing.
It's amazing, but it's not everything.
It's not everything.
Soon there'll be educational games, too.
Is that everything?
That's everything. For now.
For now?
The Atari 2600.
Now get up to $30 in rebate offers, plus a free Pac-Man.
So it also came with your standard Atari 2600 controller. So I've got about 4 or 5 of these now. But the system my friend Chris gave me actually came with this, which is a video touchpad. Never seen one of these for the Atari 2600 before. Chris also gave me some of these, which are quick shot, and I guess these are aftermarket Atari 2600 controllers. They look pretty cool. They actually look more like a flight stick. Last but not least, I got 2 of these, which are the paddle controllers. So I guess this is more so for Pong, or video pinball as it's called. So anyways, that's all the controllers I got. Really cool. So last but not least, you must be thinking, geez, what did Mike leave for the big finale? But actually, it's not anything that's really cool or crazy, it's just something I kind of came across. The most common game for the Atari 2600, apparently, is supposed to be Combat. So here's my copy of Combat. But here's the strange thing, I also got another copy of Combat, but it has a completely different case, which is more of a generic case. So I was unaware that they released them with separate labels. If anybody can give me a little information, I'd really appreciate it. So guys, that pretty much comprises everything for the Atari 2600 I've picked up over the last 2 months, and is my complete Atari 2600 collection. Alright, so anyways, that's not the only retro video game system I've picked up in the last 2 months that's past the NES days. Stay tuned next week, and I'll be showing you the other retro, really retro system that I picked up. Anyways, this is Michael B. the Game Genie, and I'll talk to you next time. You know, Combat. Yeah, I'm ripping it off. But what the hell is Tank Pong? Like, I understand what Tank and Invisible Tank and Biplane and Jet Fighter might be, but Tank Pong? What is that?